Good afternoon, everyone. This is Megan Fournier with the Home Care Alliance Massachusetts. Before we begin our next edition of the EVV series with HomeCareIT, I just wanted to go over a couple of details. I know some of you have called in before, so forgive me for the repeat, but just a reminder that you are in mute only for the sake of outside distractions. We will address questions, but we'll save them to the end. You can type them at any point in time during the webinar, though, into the questions tab, which is in the sidebar that you have. Again, we'll address those at the end. This is being recorded, so if you have to call out late, early, you're having technical difficulties, or you want another staff member to hear it, I will make this available once it's been processed, and then it'll also be available on our EVV landing page that we have for other resources. When I send that email out, I will also send you a small brochure that HomeCareIT provided me. And I believe that's all I have right now, so I'm going to hand it over to Ken, who's going to do our webinar today.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Ken Loomis, and I'm going to walk you through some highlights of HomeCareIT. The woman that you're looking at right now is a woman who does not have HomeCareIT, and she's got a bit of a headache. So hopefully HomeCareIT will resolve some of those. So our program is a web-based system, like I guess many that you've seen. I think we were one of the first home care products that was developed for the web. And it's a permission-based system, which means that you can decide who in your organization gets to see what parts of the software. You don't want maybe your coordinators seeing detailed payroll information, or you don't want your nurse supervisors running billing by mistake. So you can assign these permissions to your various users. I'm going to log into our demo system. This is the actual system you're looking at, but this is a fake company with made up names and stuff. I'm just going to log in as a user who's got privileges to everything. And when a user first logs in, they get a dashboard, and the dashboard has their to-do list, all the stuff they need to do today. I guess I'm a little late on this stuff, but I was supposed to get a substitute for Roberta on Friday. I was supposed to pick up my dry cleaning. I was supposed to call Christina when she's coming back from vacation, etc. And this would be customized for each individual user. I also get a list of all the visits that are open. So these were ongoing schedules, but some aide called out and was not able to make it. So your coordinators know when they first log in what are the high priority items they need to look at right away. And that's filling these assignments. These are visits that were canceled by the customer, the client, or maybe by a case manager. It's important to have a list of these because you need to make sure you tell your aides not to go. And this is a list of aides who are unavailable for work. And if there were any visits still left over assigned to them during the period they were not available, it would be here. These are frequently viewed reports. If they're reports that you use a lot, they'll be promoted up here to the dashboard, and you can run them weekly or monthly, however you need them. So one thing I do want to mention is that HomeCareIT is a non-medical home care system. It's not, strictly speaking, a home health care system. So if you're a certified agency with Medicare, this is probably not the program for you. I would say it is not the program for you, but if you are providing services through Medicaid, through the state, or private pay, it's definitely going to have what you need. So basically, there are two main screens that your coordinators, your schedulers, are going to be on most of the day. And the first one is the client screen. And if I go here and I look at a client, here's Yolanda. This is where she lives. This is her demographic information, date of birth, gender, all of that kind of stuff. And here are her assignments. This is all her authorization. She's getting homemaking through Mystic Valley Elder Services, 4 hours a week. She's getting 2 hours of PC. And here's one of her schedules. Claire is doing PC 1 hour on Wednesday. I can look up any client I want right here, and I can see her authos, I can see her assignments. And if I click right here, I can see a calendar view of her schedule. I can see what it looks like for next week. I can see what it looks like for the whole month. And I can print that schedule out if I like. And that's just a PDF that you can use for whatever purposes you want. Take it to the client's house. Here are the notes on this client. There's some direction notes: park in the bank lot across the street, go in the back door, any kind of DME that's there, any extra care notes. And then these are user generated notes. These are your office staff, day-to-day episodic things that are going on. And finally, these are system notes. And these are whenever you make a change to the system, do anything of consequence to the client, it's going to be logged. You're going to know when it happened, and you'll know who did it. Here are all her contacts information. This is her son. We've got her conditions, her allergies, whether she smokes, has a dog or a cat. That's going to be helpful. The system will help you screen out aides who don't want to go where there's a smoker or where there's a dog. Here's her supervision record. If she's a private pay patient, you might have a custom rate for her beyond your standard rates. These are all the people who've provided service for her in the past. Here's her task list. So this is what we want to accomplish when we go to her house. So basically everything you need for this client is on this screen. You don't have to run around and start searching for different things. The other screen that's that your staff will stay on quite a bit is going to be the aides screen. So here's Cameron. This is where he lives. This is he's an active employee. He's a homemaker. This is his supervisor. He works out of the Sudbury office. If I want to communicate with him, I can just click here and send him a text message. And it's going to head off to him. And when he replies, I'll get a little notice right up here that says that he replied. And I can head over to the text messages and I can read all the messages that are here. I can open up the threads. Oops, sorry, we're looking at this. So here's his schedule, also a calendar view that can be printed or emailed. Here are notes on this worker. There are his work preferences, when he wants to work, where he likes to work. You find someone with a little more data. Okay, she wants to work Sunday through Saturday, 9 to 5. This is where she wants to work, prefer working. Language she speaks, you can use this to match up aides to clients. Whether she tolerates smoking dogs and cats, etc. This is where you would send her an invitation to the portal, where she can, the aide portal, where she can create her login. You can do employee evaluations here. So you can do your yearly evaluations. Yen did very high in reliability and punctuality. She was ambitious and she got a 3.7. That's very good. This is a permissioned area. This is her auto information, driver license expiration. You can run reports on when that expires. Here's all her payroll information. She gets variable rates, different rates for different services. So for homemaking, she's getting 16. For PC, she's getting 15.25. She has a training pay rate, a vacation pay rate. Here's all her HR stuff, EEO stuff, performance review, TB, vaccinations. So this is Yen's schedule. So what does she see when she goes to her portal? Let's take a look at that. So let's pretend that this is a phone. Oops. And get rid of all this. Hope I didn't just close the meeting. Here we go. So let's say this is Yen's phone. She's going to type in her username and her password. And when she logs in, she's going to get a message from you. You can update this weekly, daily, if you like. This one just says, make sure you bring in your time slips or use the check-in. And she can click right here to see her schedule. And here's her schedule for today. She's seeing Molly at 10:15, seeing Frida at noon, Sarah at 1, Max at 2. She can see her schedule for tomorrow. She can see her whole week schedule so she can plan in advance. And she can see next week's schedule. When she's on the today's schedule, she can click a client and let's use this one here. So she clicks on the client, she'll see those driving directions, she'll see the extra notes about care and the DME notes, and she can just check in. So she checks in here and the system says you checked in. This means that GPS knows that she's at the client's house. And when she's through with her visit, she can check off all the tasks that she performed if you want that information. She can write in a note. And if you bill for transportation, she drove her around, you could do that. And also you can get this up where you can see it. Come on. Oops. Let's see. There we go. This client can sign the time slip as well if you like. So she can just put in her signature and she can check out. And that checkout saved because she was at the client's house according to GPS. Who did we do? We did Frida. So if you come in now and we go to the client Frida, can click on the portal notes, and there's the note that there's the visit, all the tasks that were completed, the note, the signature, and if I want, I can print this out in narrative form. Some of your billing funding sources want this information with their bill, and you can send an actual narrative. She did bathing Monday and Tuesday, cleaned the hearing aids, et cetera, et cetera. They're the signatures. This is who provided the work. So our EVV option is twofold. We have telephony and regular GPS EVV, as you saw in the portal. you might use one or the other, or you might use them in combination. If you've got workers who don't have smartphones, you may have to fall back to telephony. And so how does the GPS and the telephony, how are those integrated into HomeCareIT? And the place where you find that is when you want to verify your visits. So if I come in, I want to verify the visits from last week because I want to run payroll. This is Yen. This is, she's scheduled for 47 hours. We verified 17 and a half so far. These are all the clients that she was supposed to see last week. If I click here, I can see Sarah, I can see her authorizations, and I can see the telephony EVV log. So Yen checked in at 12:50 and she checked out at 2:06. She worked for an hour and 15 minutes. So she's been verified for an hour because she was only scheduled for an hour. This one here, it says manual. What that means is that she checked in from her own phone. She didn't use the client's phone. She didn't use GPS. There may be a reason for that you okayed, but we highlight it because that's unusual. Also, they can't do it unless you give them a special code for that client. But so there might have been a reason for that. So we could go ahead and verify this, and we could verify that. We could look at another client. Here, she clocked in at 9:52 out of 35, hour and 45 minutes. I can then schedule her for an hour and a half, hour and a half. If we look at Frida, we'll see these are all telephony, but this is a GPS check-in because it says in range. That means that she used the GPS on her smartphone. She checked in at 2:28 and out at 2:29, so she worked for a minute, but that's because we were doing that from our phone. Seeing if we've got some more GPS stuff here. Let's see. Here's one, this was a signature. We do have the option where you don't have to use GPS, just get the client's signature. That's what happened on this one. This was GPS, in at 10 out of 11 for an hour, in range. We also have an auto verify function where every morning at around 4 o'clock, we're going to go through and look at all these logs, these EVV logs, match them up to the schedule. And if they match, we'll just automatically verify it. You'll get reports on which ones they couldn't verify, which ones they verified for less time than was scheduled. But that's going to save you a lot of time. Our customers tell us it saves them hours a day to have the auto verify function work. Some of the stuff you're going to have to do manually because the aide forgets to check in, they forget to check out, they go the wrong time, etc. You have to go in and work those out for yourself. When you're finally ready to run your payroll, you'll come here and select the weekend and do a preview. And this will show you just a web page. Oops, let's get this one, sorry. This will just show you a web page that's a preview of your payroll. And it's going to have your total hours, your total pay, broken down by service hours, training, OT, hours and dollars. And then for each individual, you can see what they're getting. If you see anything that looks odd, then you can get that fixed. But now when you're ready to run payroll, You can just run your payroll, and we partner with a couple of payroll companies. If you sign up with one of our partners, your payroll will be automatically submitted to them. You don't have to do any uploads or downloads. All your employee information, demographic information will sync with them, sync up. You don't have to keep entering data in more than one place. If you use ADP or Paychecks, we'll produce a file that can be automatically submitted to them. And then we just have a generic payroll service, just a basic CSV file that most of these other smaller payroll companies can handle. Finally, there's your billing, and you can bill monthly, you can bill weekly. These are third-party billing. Our system was developed here in Massachusetts, and we know the EOEA, ASAP world inside and backwards. So the file that you'll get for your ASAP billing is going to be, you can submit directly to Provider Direct. If you bill ASAP, you'll see that this is a very recognizable format. We've converted hours to units. We've converted dollars to quarters, basically. We've got all the information, one for each funding source. Commonwealth Care Alliance, we bill them through EDI, which is very convenient for you, as well as Mass Health. And of course, you can do your private pay billing. Private pay billing, you can get a just an invoice that we create for you. I'm not sure whether we have any here to show you right now. Here's one. Well, here are a couple. Just two. And you can send those out, or you can get a CSV file that you can import into QuickBooks. So there's a whole lot more to the system. I don't want to take up too much of your time going through it. I think if you're interested in HomeCareIT, we'd be happy to give you a in-depth demonstration of it and let you see into the various features of the system. I think you'll find it's a very feature-rich program, one that should serve your needs. So I think at this point, I'll turn it back over to Megan and see if there are any questions or where we're going to go from here.
Great. Thank you so much, Ken, for taking us through this entire program. I think it's very helpful to see. A reminder that if you do have any questions, you can type it into the questions box, which is in the sidebar that you have for this program. While we're waiting for any questions to come in, if they do, I'll make sure that you get Ken's contact information if you want to, connect with him directly about his program. You will receive the access to the recording once it's been processed, so most likely later today. And then you'll also gain access to all the other programs that have been going on, because I know that there's a lot of different vendors out there for such a big topic to cover, because you guys don't have enough going on, obviously, in the industry. Again, if there's any questions, now's the time to ask. I think it's helpful to, address them out loud. But Ken, do you have any final thoughts before we end today?
No. I just really thank everybody for participating. And I guess, Megan, you'll give our contact information.
Yeah.
And feel free to give us a call. HomeCareIT is, I think, competitively priced. Our technical and customer support is at no charge, and is available for you via email or phone. Yeah.
All right, well, I think that's all we have today. So again, if you have questions that you think of later on, I'll be sure that you do have their contact information to address with them directly, or you can always shoot me an email and I can connect you. So I thank you guys for being on the call today, and thank you, Ken, for taking the time to present your program for us. And I hope everyone has a wonderful rest of their day.
Thank you, Megan.
Thank you.